This is Toby. Our emergency broadcast system was hacked, and we almost weren't able to give the signal to our guests that are taking over today. I should have known our Texas brethrens would be able to come through for us, though. I was never worried, to be honest. We had to move to a new secret location since the Geek Yogurt podcast told of our hiding spot. So, again, we're on the road. Since we're on the road again, if you want to help support us while we're on the run, please feel free to buy a t-shirt. Every t-shirt you buy directly helps support the show. And gas station burritos. If you buy a shirt, please send us a screenshot of proof, and we'll send you a free 1 1/4-inch button. You can send us that on Twitter at SecretTransPod. That's at SecretTranspod. Or email us at secrettransmission@hotmail.com. And we'll have all the links and stuff in the show notes. So, we hope to be back very soon. Until then, please listen to our friends, the TX Files, try to explain the unexplainable.
I go up and knock on people's doors, tell them I'm hungry, tell them I want a drink of water. They invite me right in their house. I said, come on in. Yeah, come on. Which is the worst mistake they make.
Are you afraid? Fear not. Because it seems as long as you don't have a heroin addiction, meth addiction, or overweight person with low self-esteem, they
Seems like
probably
you're fine.
won't visit with you.
Because according to the movie we just watched, that is the majority of Shadow People recipients. Hi, we are the TX Files. My name is Michael. I'm here with my...
But we're not the TX Files. I'm Michael. We're
Well,
not
I'm Michael.
the TX Files.
What do you mean?
We're not the TX Files today, bro.
Oh, today we are
we are
taking control of the Secret transmission as they are on the run from the Men in Black.
exactly.
Agent K, Agent J, and then who's the pug?
I don't remember. It's not important though, because that's the misinformation they want
That's
us to
true.
focus
That's
on.
the fake
pug.
news.
Exactly.
They want you to look at it.
We need to
'cause that-
focus on Will Smith and not Danny DeVito, Robert De Niro. Not Robert De Niro. Is it Robert De Niro?
What?
In Men in Black.
No.
Who is it?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. God damn it.
Yeah, that's way off.
God damn it.
So on the TX Files, we talk about Texas legends and Texas true crime and other stuff like that. But on this week, since we're kind of getting a broader audience, we're going
They
to...
know who we are, bro.
I highly doubt, besides the
know
dozens of people
who
that
we
listen to
are.
us know who we are, we're going to have one that's not necessarily only a Texas story, but it's one that's very widespread throughout the whole planet. We're finding is the legends or myths or stories.
Encounters, Michael. Legends.
Okay, there we go.
Myths.
I just
Those
trying to use 5 10-cent words.
insinuate it's not real, Michael. If you're not going to believe this, just turn the podcast off right now.
All right, hold on.
Okay? Just turn it off because this is truth and gospel that we're going to be speaking. Okay?
We didn't just watch a 2-hour documentary
No, we didn't.
about something else fake.
Exactly. No, it's absolutely
Or
real.
countless other YouTube videos about truth speakers.
Exactly.
And one girl with absurdly gauged earrings.
Yes, weird. Yeah, I couldn't even listen to
My
you 'cause your
fist could
gauge
fit
was
through
so
that.
big. Nice.
I don't mean that sexually. I mean literally just my fist.
Yeah, Mike, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. We
so-
all knew what you meant.
So, Michael, what do you know about the shadow people or sleep paralysis? We're going to see like sleep paralysis and shadow people a lot of times.
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a
We'll
second.
get to that in a
What
second.
do you know about shadow people is what you're asking?
Yes, sir.
Very little. Very little. I used to work with this girl, right? And she was talking about shadow people. Once we were kind of talking about paranormal stuff and all that good stuff, And she was like, oh, there was this and there was that. And she was like, shadow people. And I was like, what's a shadow person? And she was like, you've never heard of shadow people? And I was like, nope, never heard of shadow people.
When was this?
Years and years, probably about 5-6 years ago. And so she said shadow people were ghosts/spirits that you couldn't see head on. But she said those were the objects you would see out of the corner of your eyes. So, like, let's say I'm looking at you, but over here in the studio, I see like a figure like move to the side, and I look and it's gone. That was a shadow person. And for whatever reason, I can't remember exactly what her reasoning behind it was, but you couldn't focus directly on them, but they existed, and when they existed like in your peripheral vision.
And you can never just get a straight look at them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's creepy. That's the creepy aspect of them.
So that was one thing I'd heard. And then, we'd got into the TX files and we started talking about stuff. And before I knew anything about shadow people, I can't remember what episode it was.
Anything besides just like that one story.
Yeah. I told you about, I was driving and in my rearview mirror, I could have sworn I saw a man in my back seat, like a shadow of a man with a hat. And this is before I knew anything about this. And then you were like, oh, you're talking about Hat Man.
Yeah. And you thought I was joking. Yeah. You're like, shut up. I'm like, no. Hat Man.
So I look it up on my phone, and sure enough, it's like one of the most famous shadow thing, whatever. It's just a shadow that it appears to have a hat. And then when I see the images of it, that was like exactly what I saw in my rearview mirror. It was crazy as... Now, of course, like I know just in my head, I'm not crazy. Wink, wink. But yeah, I literally saw... I looked in my rearview mirror, thought I saw something in the back seat. Looked like a man wearing a shadow, turned back there, nothing was there, and that was it. But I just thought it was weird how I knew nothing about Hat Man, and I told you about it, and you were like, oh, that's Hat Man. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I just listened to something about Hat Man recently, but kind of going back to me, I guess, because it's all about, this Michael over here.
Exactly.
Well,
hold on, how do you explain that, Michael? We'll get to that in a little bit.
Well, yeah, we're doing...
What do you know, Michael?
What do I know? I don't think my first introduction to him had to be fairly recently on... just kind of getting into paranormal stuff, like on a Coast to Coast episode or something like that, or, I think it was something along those lines, and it was just kind of a scary idea. And I think you had told me that story of your coworker, and that's kind of what my idea of them was before all this was. Oh, it's just something like you can't see, and you kind of, everyone kind of gets that thing that juts out of the corner of your eye, or
shadow people.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what made sense to me for a while, what Michael was talking about. And then more recently, I was hearing that these were really kind of more linked to like interdimensional kind of things, and that these were kind of crossovers. And we'll kind of go over that in a little bit, but that's kind of where I stood on where I knew about it before I got more into it. And that's, just, listening to weird shit kind of got me there.
I like it.
But now that we've gotten a little more into it, it's a whole lot.
Now that we're experts.
We even did a entire creativity meditation healing.
We did.
And we are ready to go.
We are so creative right now. My throat chakra and my
heart, your root chakra.
My root chakra.
That's your butthole.
Are totally in line. All right? I mean, straight line. Throat chakra, root chakra, throat to butt. I'm good to go, and I'm ready, and I'm focused. All my chakra is centered on my chi. That's a thing, right?
I think so.
Okay, all right. My chi and chakra are 100%. They're at max capacity. All right. If this is a video game, I could pick up any more health because I got...
No, you got max health. You would have, like, overdrive health.
Exactly. All right.
So these shadow people that people see, a lot of people see these anthropomorphic figures that they look like humans, just kind of stalking them or out of the corner of their eye a lot of times, like Michael was talking about.
I don't appreciate you saying big words like that.
What?
Anthropomorphic, Michael.
Anthropomorphic just
okay,
means,
Michael,
and then I try to use like the 5-cent word after that.
I don't appreciate you using big words, okay? Because now I got to use my context clues to figure out what anthropomorphic mean. All right, and you gave very little, so let's talk like a normal person.
Okay, so a shadow person often looks like. Has a humanoid, a human-like.
Exactly, but why you guys sound like an asshole and say anthropomorphic, whatever?
Because that's the...
Oh, my God.
So, it's a creature that looks like a man a lot of times, but there's also a lot of different variations of it that aren't humans, where you're going to see shadow spiders, shadow cats, shadow blobs, a bunch of different kind of incantations of these, like, shadow creatures. And it's not just people. But one thing that is going to be... one of the recurring themes of this is the Hat Man. And in these situations, the witnesses, they say that the Hat Man's kind of in charge. They don't see him necessarily as like an evil figure. He's not experimenting on him necessarily. He's more of like an observer.
He's just running stuff, He shows up and the other shadow people, they bow down, like...
Bow down to the... Quang.
Exactly.
Quang.
So they bow down to the Hat Man, and and they do their bidding. So, doing our intense research
Yes.
that we've done, the shadow people typically don't give people good vibes, do they?
No, they don't. And one of the ladies that is from Coast to Coast 2013 episode that I listened to, because I'm a Coast to Coast insider, Michael. You know, like,
Yeah,
I'm in
exactly.
with George like that, you know, cool.
And I just what's the word you call? What do you call it? I just freeload off you. And
We have a
occasionally listen to
collective
it.
system for our Coast to Coast, and it's just I share with him, and in return, well, we won't talk about that on air.
Exactly.
But
I'm married. Can't put that information out there.
so, Coast to Coast had her on back in 2013. Her name's Heidi Hollis, and she's on there, and she's been having experiences with the shadow creatures her entire life. And so she goes on there, and she's had these things stalking her entire life. And she explains them as a humanoid-looking men a lot of the times, and you can't tell the sex.
Anthropomorphic, shadowy figures.
Yes, but they're genderless necessarily. You know what I mean? They're very 2017.
Well, hold up.
There's no gender.
Gender
What
is
happened?
obviously a social construct.
Well, yes.
Okay, so if they're from another dimension, they would have no need for gender. All right.
Well, how do you know what
So-
their social society's like?
Huh?
Well, how do you know what their you're just
Because-
well, Michael,
well,
you're just gonna
because-
you're just gonna
Michael,
earth
hold
splain.
on. They've
to them?
evolved to not
Oh,
need
okay.
it.
Just
Michael.
earth explain it to me.
Oh
some more,
my
okay.
God, Michael, you, don't
You
even
just tell
understand.
me what Earth, how Earth's so much got it. Okay. So she doesn't think these things are necessarily aliens, but she does give advice for people that think they might be. Because that's kind of one of the recurring themes. This is kind of has a lot of overlap with abduction phenomena with
What
aliens.
does she think they are?
She thinks they're demons, and a lot of these other people think they're demons as well, because they always have bad vibes associated with them. There's never anything positive. Very few people do report things positive, where they're kind of. A few people have said they're protectors, especially the Hat Man is more kind of seen as a positive figure if there is one in this
Really?
society.
They seem terrifying. Everything I've seen, they tend to
they're
scare
very
the crap out
scary.
of everybody.
So Heidi Hollis talks about to George Norrie that the only thing that she would be able to find to protect her from these shadow creatures, these
God.
shadows. Yep, pretty much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know she was behind that. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean
Yeah.
to.
So well, there you go. So she found that the only thing that can keep away from these shadow creatures is like using the name of Jesus. So if you are a Buddhist or a Muslim or an atheist, you're shit out of luck.
Yeah.
You're right.
Exactly. No, does Buddha come to help you and stuff like that? I feel like Buddha's more like, hey, you figure out your own, and that's where the
Yeah.
enlightenment comes, you
Yeah,
know?
pretty much.
Buddha's not going to help you out.
What can you understand if you don't suffer first?
Exactly, yeah, that's like
Enlightenment
Buddha,
can
yeah,
only come
exactly.
through suffering. So.
Jesus is more like, look, you call me when you need me, all right, but if you call me, you're going to owe me your soul
I'll
for
be
the
over
rest
here
of life.
performing magic tricks
Exactly.
for children at the local library. I was at the library today and I saw they were doing magic tricks for kids, and I watched the guy do it.
I know you did.
Yeah,
I
it's
know
pretty
you did.
fun.
Did you go in there and show him some magic tricks? For those that don't know, MB, he's got some magic tricks.
I got
right?
some card tricks here.
He'll do some card tricks that'll blow your mind.
I got a few. Didn't have very many friends in middle school. Did a lot of times with card tricks myself.
Yep. You ever picked up a chick using a card trick?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Not like, hey, check out a card trick.
Yeah.
That's not like my game or
Yeah.
anything. But I
Wait,
dated a girl
hold
for like,
on, hold on. Why not?
I'm not that desperate for attention.
Michael, I feel like you could, Michael, we're going to put you on Tinder. All right. All right. And one of your things is going to be, I'll show you a card trick if you go out on a date with me. Right? And so they're going to be like, oh my goodness, that sounds like fun. So you go on a date with them, you show them a card trick, boom. Next thing you know, you're plowing. And then after that, you're getting married, but you got to plow first.
Of
know,
course,
'cause
you gotta
don't-
test
You
it.
don't plow.
Yeah.
And you don't get married and then plow because
No.
what if it doesn't work in your favor, you know? So yeah. Or what if it's a dude? Nothing's a problem.
Nothing
with
wrong with
you know,
that.
as long as,
but
you know, it's consensual.
You like to know the goods before you buy.
Exactly, all right? But anyway, then you show her some card tricks, and she's super impressed, Bo. I'm going to put you on Tinder. Where's your phone at?
I don't have it in here with me.
I'm going to take a picture of it. Let's take a picture of you.
No, but I did it when I was in college. A girl did for like 8 months. We were all at a party though, but like we were all like hanging out. And like towards the end of the night, like, people were playing drinking games, you
Yeah.
know, with the cards, and I just like did a card trick there.
Shut up.
And then she like gave me shit about it later because you did a card trick, pick me up. Like, not really, but yeah, pretty much. 'Cause-
But it worked. Did you
Yeah,
ask-
it
you
worked.
were like, did it work?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, shut up and go make me a sandwich.
Wow, Michael, that
What?
got really.